Sorry, the strings are pretty old and grungy. This belongs to a friend of mine, my boss's, one of his students, and I just had to tighten some stuff on it. So I figured I would do a quick little video about it. It is a pretty groovy Ibanez. It doesn't say what model it is. I think it looks like one of those SA120s or something that, you know, run for like 200 bucks or whatever, 229, something like that. I don't know. Used there, you know, much less than that, like 150 bucks. But anyway, the neck feels great on it. It's like a matte finish maple, you know, neck. It feels great. It's a little bit wider than I'm used to, and it has a little bit of like that kind of pronounced shoulder where the neck, like say, I don't know if I can do that. It's sort of like flatter this way and a little bit kind of wider at this end here. So rather than like, you know, something like this kind of a shape, it's kind of more like that kind of a shape, if that makes sense. But the shoulder, I believe, is called on the neck. The shoulder's a little bit thicker, but it's fairly comfy. You know, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just not really used to this type of a neck, but it's totally fine. It plays really well. The action's nice and low. The intonation up and down the neck isn't bad at all. Obviously, you know, that could be adjusted if it was. But the action's really nice on it. The neck seems really straight and kind of chunky enough, but still pretty fast. So it's a nice in-between. It's just a little bit flatter and sort of wider than I'm used to. Oh, and the hardware and stuff on it, you know, nice big thick hardware, lovely. Nice easy way to do the stop tail piece with the slots that you can put the strings in through. Not that I've ever had an issue without the slots, but it's a nice little thingy. But this is interesting. Since I had to tighten some of the knobs and stuff, I opened up the control cavity, because obviously if you take the knob off and tighten the nut and you're not holding the piece at the other end, you know, the potentiometer inside, it's just going to spin, and that's useless. So you have to hold the, you know, potentiometer while you tighten the nut. So anyway, I noticed this. Okay, see if you can see, yeah. See how it's painted inside? It's like barely painted. It looks like somebody at the factory, because it's supposed to be the conductive paint, I'm guessing. Why else would you smear, you know, gray paint all over the inside if it wasn't supposed to be that conductive paint? It looks like somebody had a slightly damp brush left over at the end of the day and just sort of slapped it in there for, you know, 8 seconds. I don't know what's going on in there, but it's not a noisy guitar. Okay, I mean, I have fluorescent lights going on. The electricity in this place tends to be a little bit on the noisy side of things, and I have a laptop, and I mean, it's not very noisy. I definitely have other guitars, even with humbuckers, that are a little noisier than this. So it's nice and quiet. So as you saw at the beginning of the video, I did some with the bridge pickup and then flick to the neck pickup. Bridge pickup, neck pickup, both of them together. Pretty standard type stuff. The tone control, when you turn it down, it gets muddy. So, pretty muddy, and that's the bridge pickup with the tone control down. So, not a huge deal. You can always not turn it down so much, but you can always adjust the capacitor in the circuit. It's easy. If you don't know how to do it, somebody, you know, can. I mean, we're talking about a $200 guitar, so the pickups sound fine. They're not super exciting to me, but again, $200 guitar. If it's a $200 guitar, you can bet that these pickups are probably like $3 pickups, you know, when all is said and done, because the markup, everything, every step of the way, people have to make money on all of this stuff. So, you know, the whole guitar probably cost them $50 to make. So the pickups are probably like $3 pickups. But whatever, they sound fine. So really, you know, that's the guitar. It's a surprisingly decent guitar for, you know, the price point. It's a surprisingly decent guitar for the price point. Surprisingly, because I would expect much less. It's actually, for the price point, it's a really nice guitar. It's definitely, I would recommend this to anybody, you know, looking in the $200 range. So, there we are. It's a pretty cool sounding guitar, so rock on. And by the way, I forgot something on this that I think is super important. Of course, if somebody hasn't watched to the end of the video, then they miss it. Sorry. But in my defense, I've played this guitar. The most I've played this guitar, by far, was just this video. I just fixed the stuff, plugged it in to make sure everything worked, and that was that. But anyway, the neck joint. That's pretty nifty. It's not only really nice and rounded, which feels great when you're, you know, playing up here. It feels really nice. But it's so I actually just went to reach and reached past the last fret. So it's really easy to reach all the way up to the 22nd fret. Super easy, super comfortable. This is a great neck joint, and it feels solid as a rock. So that's almost worth the price of admission right there. It's pretty nice. So just wanted to throw that in.